Hey there and welcome. Have you ever been driving along, listening to the radio, and wondered how that sound actually gets from a studio, through the air, and into your car? Well, today, we're going to pop the hood on the absolute powerhouse that makes it all happen, the modern AM transmitter. Let's get right into it. First, just a quick heads up. This explainer is part 4 of a much bigger 40-part series on modern broadcast transmission. So today, we're really going to zero in on the key pieces and the incredible tech that makes a modern AM transmitter tick. You know, the best way to really wrap our heads around this is to follow a signal from start to finish. We're going to trace its path from the moment it leaves the studio as raw audio, see how it gets prepped and encoded by the digital exciter, then bulked up by a power amplifier, cleaned up with some filtering, and finally, whoosh, sent out to you by the antenna. But before we start that journey, it's so important to understand the massive, and I mean massive, leap in technology we've seen. We've gone from the age of these giant, hot, power-guzzling vacuum tubes to the era of sleek, efficient, solid-state transistors. Honestly, it's nothing short of a revolution in broadcasting. And this slide just lays it out perfectly, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the old guard, the tube transmitters. We're talking massive pieces of equipment, super inefficient, and running on dangerously high voltages. But on the other side, that's today. Solid-state systems that are compact, way more efficient, super reliable because they're modular, and just all around safer to work with. It's really no wonder the entire industry made the switch. So our signals journey begins right here, at the digital exciter. And I want you to think of this component as the intelligent brain of the entire operation. This is where that raw audio gets its first set of instructions on how to become a radio wave. Now, I know a block diagram like this can look a little complicated, but the core idea is pretty straightforward. See, modern exciters use what's called digital signal processing, or DSP. It's basically a specialized little computer that can shape and mold sound waves with just incredible precision. This all-digital method creates a perfectly stable, low-power version of the final signal. It gives engineers a level of control that was, frankly, just impossible with the old analog ways. Okay, so we've got a perfectly crafted but very low-power signal. That's not going to reach across the city, right? So now it's time to add the muscle. We're moving from the brain of the transmitter to its brawn, the power amplifier. And the muscle in today's transmitters comes from these amazing little things called LDMOS transistors. The benefits are just huge. They're super reliable, they run on safe, low voltages, but the real game changer? It's that modular design. Think about it like a high-end computer server. If one of the power modules fails, an engineer can literally pull it out and slot a new one in while the transmitter is still on the air. It's called graceful degradation. It means the station might run at slightly lower power, but it stays on the air instead of just going silent. It's a lifesaver.
All right, so our signal's got brains and it's got brawn. But before it's ready to be sent out to the world, it needs a final polish. This is where we clean up the signal to make sure it's legally compliant and, just as importantly, where we use some really groundbreaking tech to save a ton of energy.
The first part of that final polish is the output filtering. You can think of this as a really strict gatekeeper. Its one job is to make sure no unwanted signals, stuff called harmonic radiation, get out. If they did, they could bleed over and cause interference for other radio or TV stations. So this is a super critical step to keep the airwaves clean and, well, legal. Now for the really clever part, efficiency. One of the biggest breakthroughs is a technology called MDCL+. And in simple terms, it's a smart system that's always listening to the audio. During quiet parts, a pause in a song or between words, it intelligently lowers the transmitter's power usage. And the second the audio gets loud again, bam, the power is right back up. The listener, you never even notice. It's seamless. So what does this actually mean in the real world? Well, look at this number. Stations using this MDCL+ tech report saving between 30 and 50% on energy. For a broadcast station, that's not just pocket change. That's thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars saved on electricity every single year. It's a huge deal, and for a lot of stations, it's what makes it possible to stay on the air.
And MDCL+ isn't the only trick up the sleeve. There's another really cool high-efficiency method called pulse width modulation, or PWM. Instead of just pushing power through continuously, this technique switches the power devices on and off at incredibly high speeds to build the final signal. It's pretty sophisticated stuff, kind of like the technology you'd find in a high-end computer power supply, and it's another reason these transmitters are so darn efficient.
And that brings us to the very end of our signals journey. It's been created,
amplified, cleaned up, and optimized for efficiency. Now, it takes that final leap from the transmitter building out to the antenna system. That antenna then radiates the signal out across the landscape, waiting to be picked up by your radio.
So we've seen how these modern AM transmitters have become these incredibly smart, efficient, software-driven machines. And it kind of leaves you with a really fascinating question, doesn't it? As this tech keeps getting better and better, what's the next big frontier going to be? Are we going to find even smarter ways to save energy? Or are we going to discover entirely new ways to use the airwaves that we can't even imagine yet? It's something to think about. Thanks for joining me today.